Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. If you follow my channel for a longer period of time, know that I'm a very big fan of investing in alternative assets like Lego. This having said, every form of investing comes with risks and Lego investing is definitely not an exception. Before starting to invest in Lego sets, it's important to know not only the advantages but also the risks that you are taking. In this video I want to talk about the without a doubt biggest risk every Lego investor has to pay attention to. In April of this year I've made a video about the best Lego Star Wars sets to invest in now in 2024, and in that video I've mentioned several of the Lego Star Wars sets that I was planning on investing in throughout the year. Now shortly after that video you obviously had a special Star Wars Day promotion on the Lego.com website, and I used that promotion as an opportunity to add a couple of the predicted retiring Star Wars Lego sets to my portfolio, only to find out that shortly after a couple of the sets were actually extended. This means several of the sets that were expected to retire this year at first ended up being set to retire now 1 year later, probably by the end of 2025. Now most people that are planning to invest in certain Lego sets are making them choices based on the so-called retirement lists. Now while there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, in fact it is the very best way to plan your Lego investments, it's extremely important to realize that these lists are not made by Lego themselves. In other words, there is always a chance that sets that are expected to retire will be a lot longer on the shelves, increasing your holding time as an investor significantly. I strongly believe this is one of the biggest risks that every Lego investor should be aware of and is especially overseen by new investors that are entering the market. Now let's have a look, for example, at the Lego Star Wars sets that I've mentioned in my video from April, because by now we know that several of the sets that were on the expected retirement list at first have been very unfortunately extended. And I have to be honest, a couple of the changes in the retirement list I absolutely did not see coming. So far we know that at least 7 of the Star Wars sets that were originally expected to retire by the end of this year are pushed to 2025. Let's quickly take a closer look at a couple of these sets. The first one is a set that I strongly believe in as an investment, and that is set 75345, which is the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. The set was scheduled to retire by the end of this year, but has now been pushed to the end of 2025. These low-priced sets have turned out to be more than decent investments in the past, and I do expect also this set to perform pretty well in the aftermarket. However, if you were planning on investing in this set this year, you do have a lot more time given the fact that shelf life is extended with at least 1 extra year. This is one of the sets that I bought during the May the 4th promotions, so I will have to keep them a little bit longer in my portfolio than I planned at first, but as I've mentioned already, that is a risk that you have to take as a Lego investor. The second set is one that will sting a little bit. It's maybe one of the most talked about Star Wars sets expected to retire this year. I'm of course talking about the Darth Vader helmet. Now the helmet series has been a very popular series, and a lot of Lego enthusiasts and investors are expecting the Darth Vader one to be one of the best investments of them all. Now obviously Darth Vader is one of the most popular characters from the Star Wars franchise, but the fact that it will have an extra year of shelf life is definitely something that you will have to keep in mind. This set was released on the market already in March of 2021, which means it will have a more than 4.5 years shelf life. However, I will buy a couple of these sets myself. I do think that the longer shelf life will have an important impact on the amount of supply that will be available on the aftermarket, and because of that will also impact its potential as an investment. And anyway, the holding time will probably be a lot longer. Before continuing, if you like this video, then please consider giving it a like, and if you enjoy this type of content, also please consider following my channel for a lot more Lego investing related content. I would of course always appreciate that. Now without further ado, let's continue with the rest of this video. The set that I'm personally the most disappointed about that fell off the retirement list is set 75356, the Executor Superstar Destroyer. Also, this is one of the sets that I bought during the May the 4th promotion period, because at that moment it was actually still on the retirement list. The most important reason why I'm disappointed not to see this set retire later this year has everything to do with the fact that it would be the very first set of the brand new mini-scale ship series to retire. And that would be interesting because it would deliver us some extra data about how these sets could be performing past retirement. This data will now only be available a lot later, and that is of course a bit unfortunate. Besides the retirement date from these 3 sets, also the dates of several other sets have been pushed towards the end of 2025. This is the case for sets as set 75357 Ghost and Phantom 2, set 75354 Coruscant Guard Gunship, set 75347 the TIE Bomber, and set 75333 the Jedi Starfighter from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now obviously not only the retirement dates from several Star Wars sets have been pushed to 2025, the same also goes for several other sets. Amongst these sets is yet again a personal favorite of mine, and that is set 76917, the Too Fast Too Furious Nissan Skyline GTR. Originally this set was expected to retire already by the end of last year, but the retirement date got pushed to the end of 2024 and now it's again extended to 2025. Now we have seen the retirement of a similar set at the end of last year, which was the Fast and Furious 1970 Dodge Charger, and on several markets this set has seen already a pretty significant price increase, so a lot of Lego investors, including myself, were also looking at the Nissan Skyline. Now, however, this set obviously could still turn out to be a decent investment for the future. It is a bit disappointing that we have to wait yet again an extra year before it will go into retirement. So what is this teaching us exactly? One of the factors that people base their Lego investing decisions on is the expected retirement date. Now, as I've mentioned before, this is always a guess and never a certainty. It is always, and I mean always, possible that an expected retirement date changes. Now, if this happens and you did already buy the set that got extended, then obviously this will cause a lot of a longer holding time, which is something that most Lego investors try to avoid for obvious reasons. Unfortunately, this is a risk that never can be fully prevented. A lot of years there are a lot of sets that even just before the expected retirement date fall off the retirement list and get extended with at least another year. So be absolutely sure to always keep this in mind before investing in Lego, and also be sure to always invest with money that you can miss for a longer period of time. Only like that you can prevent having to sell your investments a lot quicker than originally expected, which could mean that you would be losing money instead of making money. This brings me to the end of this video. Let me know in the comments if you already invested in one or maybe even more Lego sets that were at first expected to retire by the end of 2024, and if so, what you are planning on doing with it. Will you keep them or will you sell them again? Anyway, I thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel for a lot more Lego investing related content. See you in my next video. Bye bye.